Put down your pencils and throw away your old paint cans. Let's talk Danger Space. Sniper Side Bullet Point here. I want to talk Danger Space. After seeing that, all I can describe it as is a joke on Facebook, I had to come out and address it for everybody. Danger Space, yeah, you could explain it by showing a hole in a paint can and one has an angle and the other, goes straight through. But, let's get serious here for a minute. At 500 yards, you're not going to see a paint can have an angle like that. Danger Space is more measured in yards, depending on the rifle and what you're doing. An example, I have my printed out chart that I've used for my competition rifle. And in JBM, you can use the Danger Space. You can get it. With a 260 at 500 yards, you have 20 yards plus or minus of Danger Space. At 1,000 yards, you have 5 yards plus or minus of Danger Space. Now that's important, especially for unknown distance targets. And I have a target at 500, or actually at 600 yards down there. I have a paper target with a paper target, and I have 3 different rifles. 300 Win Mag, 338, because somebody said the bullet's still climbing, and a 308, 20-inch 308. So we're going to shoot all 3 of those rifles at a paper target at 600 and with another target behind it so we can see the offset. Quite a lot of distance between the two. I have about 4 or 5 yards between them. So that'll help illustrate it a little bit better than a paint can with some writing on it. So let's go shoot these rounds and we'll talk more about Danger Space and how it pertains to your caliber, your target size, the distance you're shooting, and whether you're ranging it with a reticle or using a laser. That plus or minus with reticle ranging comes into play with Danger Space. So let's go take a look. Okay, all you guys out there, let's talk Danger Space. We shot the 338, 300 Win Mag, and the 308. We had one round that caught the piece of wood and it went sideways, so we won't worry about that. We brought the group back over. But what I did is, using a reference mark as to where this lines up, I went through each one, and here you can see the difference in drop with the 338. You got about a 1-inch drop. Here you can see the difference in drop, and we're talking about an 1.25 inch drop. Understand this, as soon as you fire, the bullet's affected by gravity. It's constantly falling. Scopes point down, so we pick our barrels up, and the bullet constantly falls. So what we have here is we have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of drop at 600 yards. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a JBM chart with the Danger Space in it for each one of these rifles, so you'll be able to see it. Check out the article for that. But understand, in this 5-yard gap, you had about that 1-inch drop between this target and the back target. So it wasn't this big through the paint can this way and through that way. That's not how it works. Danger Space comes into play on the back side of a trajectory, not in the middle of a trajectory. It's more on that back side when you're crossing into transonic. We're launching those bullets high, and then they're coming back down. But you have to wait till they're coming back down onto the back side of the curve before you start to see this Danger Space. Now here's the difference. When you're out there, you want the flattest shooting rifle you can get. That's going to help you hit this 6-inch circle versus hitting this 18-inch target. That's where the danger space comes into play. Now, if you're top of the head to the crotch, you got a lot more to play with. But if you just got the head, well, then your danger space is critical if they're really far out there. So yeah, that's something we want to think about. There are tools, you can print it out, you can see the difference, but generally speaking, in the middle of the curve, you got about a 20-yard plus or minus. On the back side of the curve, it's about a 5-yard plus or minus. So that's what you're looking at. It's not as critical as it's made to seem with the paint can. If you want more on danger space, if you want more lessons on shooting at actual targets, stop by the Sniper's Hide online training at $99 for the year. Get you all the lessons, all access, and we'll go over a lot of this stuff. But throw away the paint can and put down the pencil.